see what we get. I'll just copy it. They play. I'll just start with d6. I could go for an e5 setup. I could not go for an e5 setup. They do have ideas of that. I could start by fianchettoing. I actually don't really know what I want to do. Am I playing for e5 or c5? I think I'll play for just e5. Interesting decision. I don't know why you'd play this. I think we're gonna get a very, well, maybe not too symmetrical. I don't want to play this. I think here though, is that really useful for me? I'd like to play a waiting move, but I don't think there really is a good waiting move. I have to either develop my bishop or not develop my bishop. So I'm gonna move it like this. You know, they go here, they go here, they go here, and I can't castle. For example, I mean, I really could just play like this, but that's not really usually how I do it. Both should be fine. Okay, they just fianchetto, so I'm not too worried. Just play this. They might push, but given that they play d3, I think that's fine. And I will just castle. Seems like the kind of position where I'll be playing for f5. They do that, which they're just trying to move their bishop, I guess, and castle, kind of like a Sicilian. The issue is with both two pieces on the knights. This doesn't really cover, you know. Well, no, but they don't have a pawn here to deal with that, anyways. So I could maybe start like this, but where am I going to move my knight to? Also, I can consider a move like this, knight c3 idea. It's usually something. I should maybe consider how these pawns push up, but I'm not most concerned about that. I really would like to just put this knight somewhere. Yeah, I think I'll try to quickly do this. Before they get this here, push it, and then just bring it back. They might use this as an opportunity to push. And I think I'll maybe slide my queen over. But then maybe there'll be pressure on the knights. Because, yeah, they really should be pushing here and applying pressure there. But based on how they played, I'm not sure they'll do that. Yeah, maybe this was a bit incorrect. Yeah, they do that. And so I just go here, they play takes. And I mean, that would be really weakening, so I think it's fine. I'll just go here. Kind of like a King's Indian attack more than a King's Indian defense in my mind. They haven't castled, which is worth mentioning, but I don't think I really have any way to abuse that. They have adequate defense. Just bishop e2 and castles after taking the pawn. Should be good enough. I assume they will take the pawn, otherwise me pushing it seems very scary for them. I'm not entirely sure where I want my light squared bishop to go. I think it will probably be best fianchettoed, but yeah, I think, cause I don't know where else I'd put it, but fianchettoed is not really all too useful. It makes it a bit harder for them to move the knight, whereas if I just try to pin the knight and trade or whatever, then they don't really have as many movement issues, and their pieces are more in the game. Whereas here, maybe with like a bishop, you know, on b7 and my queen, I guess maybe like g4, then maybe it might be kind of hard to move for them. Whereas trading it, obviously, it's very easy for them to move. I also would like to keep my bishop maybe for the late game. I'm probably going to end up playing c5 myself. b6, c5s. They play this, which, okay. It does defend me from pushing. It's a bit odd to me, but okay. You know, if this, so questionable. You know, I can push this. That doesn't really do anything. Here, b5, let's double check it, because I kind of do want to go for it, but I don't think it does anything. Or rather, I think it gets attacked in a way which is not good for me. It does do something if it doesn't get attacked in that way. Wait, they're pinned, so... Huh. But I don't have enough to take advantage of the pin because of this knight still. It's not like I can pin it to the queen. If I go here... What was this? What was I scared of here?
The 2026 Chevy Equinox.
I don't know. If I move the knight to c6, then
space, plus a big touchscreen that keeps all your tech right where you need it. It's more than enough.
So if I move the knight to c6, what was I scared of? I think but takes wouldn't make any sense to be scared of. I swear there's something that made me think that knight c6 doesn't make sense, but it seems like a very high quality move. If they push, I don't mind just going back. I'm going to decimate them, I think, should they do this. So I don't know why I had an issue with this move. Maybe I'll end up reminding myself. I really don't know why this is a bad move. Because I looked at it and I was like, no, that doesn't work. Maybe I looked at it last turn and was like, it doesn't work. Or, yeah. Maybe it was last turn? I don't get it. Because I swear I thought of the move knight c6 and was like, no, I don't like it, but it seems fantastic. Presumably they'll take, and I will take with the pawn, I guess. Although, taking with the knight. Also, okay, should do this. Maybe it's just based on the idea that, because I mean, yeah, this doesn't like work out. I can't win it. You know, they can't castle. If I play rook e1, I could also take first, but if I take first, I'm encouraging this, which maybe loses the tempo because I'm on my rook on the f file, but it's probably still fine. I can also just take immediately, or can I? Yeah, I don't know. What I'll say is I really want to play a position where they lock up the center. And because of that, I think I'm fine giving them the opportunity to lock up the center here. Oh, but they have this move, which might matter. Actually, yeah. The bishop being here might matter. I don't know. I didn't consider that part. But knight has a home in the future, so yeah. But no, but I guess I'm scared of, or I guess I'm thinking if castles takes, I assume there's some line where the bishop's able to like trade well, and like for example, if this, then they take here. No, but I'm attacking the queen. And I think because I'm attacking the queen, it's probably fine in some manner. But they could also just take again with the bishop. And then is it bad? Okay, but they do this, which I don't care about. I don't mind the resulting position. So I either can play this, which attacks the queen, but then I have to ask, does it do so productively? Or I can play back. If I go here, I'm under threat of like, my knight getting trapped. Although I do have a home here. So this is probably fine. For that reason. Because they go here, and I just go here. But now that they can push, and is that concerning for me? If I go here, they go here, I go here, they push, then maybe I push here, and I'm applying pressure to it, but it seems like my knight's kind of losing the plot a little. So I'm going to go back here, instead of tempoing the queen. So I would like to get this in. We'll see if that's possible without the bishop getting an opportunity to take or whatever. I think it should be. I assume they'll castle, but maybe they have something better. Just not sure what that would be. After castles, I should be able to play this. And then after playing f5, maybe I slide this back over and do something like that. I would like to get the knight out of here, because bishop takes knight might be annoying. It might also be good sometimes with opening up the g-file, but probably not. I want the game to go. They need to break with b4 to break it all. But is that ever... yeah, it does work. But currently it would be kind of losing a pawn. Here, 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 takes. And I'd have these extra pawns, but these pawns here would be doubled and isolated, and it wouldn't be great, but it would be another pawn, I guess. And I assume there's no way they can immediately win it back, although, I don't know, the bishop might just be able to go over here, but, we also have ideas of, pushing the e-pawn and getting this attack on the rook currently. Should the bishop move, although they'd be able to play this with tempo, and then there'd be a lot to calculate. They should just castle, though, I think, first. I don't think that's really doing anything. Oh, it is worth noting I can take back with the knight here, which is actually very important. Very, very important. What opening did I even play? Because I'm playing a King's Indian as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I think they played like a bunch of weird stuff. They just played the English, and okay. I'm really wondering what they're thinking about. Maybe they have ideas of long castling after I push f5, but I'd be very happy to see that, I think. Yeah, I think they're trying to long castle, and they're looking for a move to play in the meantime. That might be it, because I really don't have a clue what they're doing. I mean, you just castle short, no? Like, this seems like pretty clearly what's right to me, but it is true that I get all the play, and they do want some form of counterplay. Castling long, I guess, is what it would be after I play this move. Then they try to use that to break me open, but I don't think they really have such an easy time with that. And I feel like I have more of an ability to really go after them. Although, in terms of pawn structure, it is kind of the same but reversed, with, you know, this chain being longer than this chain, because I'm not pushing this, but, you know, this is pretty much the same as this in my mind. In terms of weakness, but I don't know, long castling, just they have to spend time moving the king over, presumably they don't, it's more in the center, and I just feel like this should be better. I don't really know why. I mean, I often do make, okay, thank you, we're just gonna play this. You know, I'm curious. This obviously isn't a good move. Because even if I don't play this, it's still bad. But if this were to occur, would I want to lose this bishop? Because defensively, that's, you know, now my king is very open. But up the exchange, I should be able to provoke an endgame, and I shouldn't be too weak. I should be able to, like, really control squares with my queen in a way which forces them to trade queens, I think. Okay, they just push. So I can push here, I can do whatever, play this. So I guess I'll calculate this. Takes. Wait, what? Yeah, takes. Now, if they were to like go over here, for example, and I were to play this, now
Granger knows that as an
they
HVAC
take like
technician,
this.
the heat is on you every day. Your first call, an office
I
building
have
with a noisy AC unit. Time to
Okay,
put your
this is
experience to
distracting.
work.
Okay, I mean, like, I have to find a, you know, nice queen move, I would say. I mean, I could also maybe, like, sack the queen. So, I'm down 6 points of material, I'm up 3. So, wait, so I gain 3, then I gain 2, so it's not, in terms of material, good for me. And also they win the pawn, so I didn't even put that in the calculation. I mean, I can also just let them, you know, make them take. Yeah, I think that's probably the best, because it's probably a bit slower for them to do that than something else. Yeah, I'll start by pushing this, and then, you know, they can generate a weak pawn here, but I'll be fine. I wonder if they'll play e4. I don't think so. But I could imagine a world where that happens. Just not entirely sure about the attack here. I think maybe I'll be trading my light squared bishop for the knight. And the reason is, even though I quite like the presence of the light square bishop in terms of attacking, I can't attack when they control every square around their king. Whereas if I get rid of this knight, they only control the control the light squares around the king with a bishop, and I can make something happen. Whereas now I can't move my queen there. Okay, so they just move it back, which I think this is good for me. Yeah, it seems fine. I don't think this should be played yet. They'd probably just play like something like this and So I'll start by taking this. They'll take back with the pawn. I'm curious about this move because that seems potentially useful. I'm tagging the pawn. And I'm stopping the bishop from doing anything immediately. This move, yeah, but that move runs into that. So I think I will try this move. Just put some time pressure on them. Is it the most accurate? I don't know, but it seems fine. This might also become a threat, although there is the knight defending this pawn. So that's not really doing much, I guess. Now with my queen in, if I can trade light squared bishops, I don't mind the knight controlling the dark squares because then I'll have the light squares for my queen very quickly, very readily. I didn't calculate possibly getting my queen trapped, but I assume that's not the case, and I mean here, I think even this square, with this pawn being weak, there's just no way. So yeah, I don't think after there's any real possibility of my queen getting trapped, especially because the knight obstructs the rook's immediate vision. Oh, I also have this square too, so... Whoa! What? They resigned? If I had to guess the evaluation of this position, I would say the evaluation of this position is like minus 0.4. Yeah, I think minus 0.4 is what I think the evaluation is. So to see them resign is crazy. Let's see. Maybe they just really don't have a way to... I mean, they just go here. Now what? You know, I play this, play this. How am I winning? Maybe they just had to go? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning. I think I have a better position, but... Really? They resigned? It's also a shame because I think that would have been good practice for me playing out that position. Engine seems to think they were better even. Engine thinks it's plus 0.3. So I have no clue why they resigned. Also curious what this was. I didn't see that tactic. Okay. Okay. So when people play like this, it's really annoying because I want to try to get a game by playing some like hyper-modern opening. Or maybe not like hyper-modern, just modern, you know? Or I guess it's like hyper-modern, but like not as hyper-modern. Or I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to just play c5. I want to like force some kind of position. I want them to play d4 really is what I want. So why didn't I play g6? I assume I didn't play g6. I would remember playing g6. Yeah, so instead I play this, you know, giving options to c4, e4, g6. So this is very flexible of a move, this d6 move, but yeah, I don't know. I could have just started with g6. whatever. Was to give a better eval. Not that it really matters, because it's the opening. I'm just deciding how to play it. Okay, it gets better eval to g6, but yeah, again, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I play d6. They play b3. Computer doesn't like it, but I think it's just a very normal way of playing. You can play it that way if you want to. It's fine. I play e5, which I'm happy to see as best. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to go about this. But I thought this structure was fine. I just didn't like that d4 might come. Or, I guess I didn't mind. I don't know. I just wanted it to be more locked down. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't like e5 because they can just make it go away, but I guess structurally I don't see anything better than just e5ing. I don't see a real, issue with it. I don't know. I play e5. They play this, which is weird to me. I don't really know what that does. Actually, I might have no clue what that does. It stops me from pushing e4. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so I feed Keto. You want bishop g4. Which, in this kind of position, I don't really... I mean, I guess we're just really trying to get ahead of h3, because this move will almost certainly be wanted to be played later, but h3 prevents it, so we're just trying to get ahead of that. I don't know, but these early, like, bishop pinning knight moves, I tend to not really understand. I guess it's also useful for helping my center here. The knight can't, protect the d4 push, for example. Although they played d3, which makes d4 a bit worse, but the knight can't protect the d4 push, which should come eventually, I would think, if it's going to be taken. So maybe it's just a similar idea kind of to the Roy Lopez, which I do play. Okay, so they just Fianchetto it. Pretty logical. I Fianchetto too. Doing a5, preventing some pawn stuff here. I think I did recognize that these pawns, maybe I should do something about them, but I wasn't really too sure. And I was like, they spent time playing b3 and c4 is the best way to push it, but they spent time playing b3, which makes it when you want to play a3 and b4 instead of b3, a3, and b4, So it seems like if they go for that kind of plan, I do get a couple extra tempi. Okay. It wants this kind of center, which is worth thinking about. Kind of makes sense that this really locks this down. Yeah, actually I quite like that here. And moreover, the knights went to this square, which means it's not going to be able to quickly go to c3 and d5. So yeah, looking at this, I should have played c5, and I should have recognized the strength of that. Want c5 again, but I don't go for it. Play this, which thinks is fine. Okay. He wants bishop f5, but I thought, bishop f5 would run into this. He wants bishop g4, but yeah, I don't know why I should be particularly happy with this. I mean, the center's kind of locked down, and I guess if they do push this pawn, my knight now has a new home. It probably has to do with this knight f4 move. But granted, if they push this, I don't think it's too bad for them. And going back and this, it's like my knight's kind of running out of squares. So I'm actually curious to see the line. In fact, they want g3 immediately, which stops the knight from ever going there. And I don't know if I evaluate this as so good. Maybe if I calculate it out, it's nice. And I wanted plans like that, but I just didn't think that'd work there. And maybe through calculation I can get there, but I don't know if I really should be calculating on that. That's kind of the difficult part. It's hard to go like, oh, well, engine says this, but okay, the engine calculates a bajillion moves. whereas I am not. And it's like, okay, well, should I have calculated it? I don't know, because I wanted a structure like that. I just thought maybe it would run into issues, so I don't know if I can really be beating myself up about that. Okay, so I play knight c3, which is still great eval. I think it's a good idea. It gives an inaccuracy, but like, whatever. And now this loses to a tactic. Let me try to turn the engine off, or if I click games, okay. Now I can't accidentally look. Let's find this tactic here. You're telling me there's a tactic here. Well, is the queen doing anything important? I don't think so. So I don't think attacking this is necessarily all too big. Really, you're telling me there's a tactic here. That's ridiculous. There's no way this is +3 or -3. I'm really bad with differentiating between like white and black and speech here, because you know I often like say this is like B3, or I usually don't do that, but like I would say like this is B4, this is C4 when it's B5, C5. And also I was watching a 960 game, and I thought this side was the king side for black, because I was watching from black's perspective, and you know this is the king side for white, and because it's 960 the pieces aren't in their normal situation, I'm not like really thinking too much about it. So I thought that this was the king side. I was like, and the person was like mentioned castling queenside as both their plans, and I'm like, why would you castle queenside? But this side is queenside. This side is not kingside. So yeah. Why did I get into this tangent? Something about me saying something wrong. What did I say wrong? Oh, I said it was +3 when it's -3. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. I don't even know where to begin looking for a tactic here. I assume it takes here. Don't switch back to the analysis, I don't want to see that, but I do know that I'm correct. I guess I also have the eval bar, but I don't want to see what comes next. So in playing this is interesting. Actually, I consider this move, I think. But I started with this one. Because I thought after takes that, or I guess I can just turn the engine off. Where's the button? Here it is. Okay, I didn't see anything. So I thought after this, you know, then maybe this would be really good for pressuring them. And I guess that has to be the idea, but, oh, I missed this knight move. I think this knight move might be the reason why. Also, is there something regarding taking here? I don't think so. Yeah, I do think this is adequately defended. I missed this move with a knight. Let's turn the engine back on. I don't really need to calculate to know this is winning. I don't know if it's the best move, but I know it's very clearly winning. They want bishop f5, you know, which just hits the queen, and it's no longer able to push, which is something that I considered after looking at, you know, the engine being like, oh, this position's winning. I did also see that, but I don't know, I saw this and this is just very simple to me. If this does get played, and I don't know, they just move the queen. Sure, d1 makes sense. I think you just move the knight to f4. Yeah. Here they just want castles, and you could probably just like take the pawn or whatever, and it's fine. Or rook e8, because they can't take back yet, because the bishop's pinned. So if they were to take with anything, whether it be the knight or whatever, or I guess I have to play the move. If I play this, you know, and however they take, basically at the end of all this, the bishop would be hanging. So yeah, I missed this. Because I was just thinking, oh well. I think I wanted to encourage them to push this, and well, why didn't I take it immediately? I didn't take it immediately because I think I kind of wanted them to take, maybe. Or wait, they take here. That's a little annoying, actually. I don't know why I allowed this. I thought, no, but I think, yeah, I thought of D takes, which is the top move. Yeah, I don't know why I would allow them to take, actually. So I should have just taken. Allowing them to take here was pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm not the most annoyed with myself missing the tactic, but I allowed them to play D takes. And that's clearly a worse position than this. I mean, are you kidding me? Even if I don't realize, you know, this fork here, I should still realize that I don't want them taking as opposed to me taking, so that seems like poor decision making for me. And maybe they realized after the fact, and them making that mistake kind of tilted them, and they're like, how could I allow something like that to happen? And that's part of why they resigned, because I don't know, they resigned way too early, so I missed that. I love this. So it does want this, but I think I took issue with the move because if, say, like this, for example, they want a different. Oh, the knight is defending this bishop, which is now going to basically after this they have to take the knight here, or they could also play knight d4, which is, what is that? Knight d4 would be playing this. Which makes actually a lot more sense, and I don't immediately recognize why this is losing. Maybe it's something to do with this check. I don't think so. Maybe c4. Let's just see what the engine says at this point. Oh, you can take it, and if they take back, you have this fork of the queen, the rook, and the king. And you know, if they take the knight, well, thanks for the extra piece. Obviously, they should take the knight there, but, like, you know, still. Okay. So, yeah, you can just take it. Well, actually, I didn't look at it if they take with a pawn. Well, I guess this would probably allow this move, though. And I don't know why. Yeah, it does allow this. They can't take with the bishop because, you know, this would discover a check, basically, and then this would be, I believe, checkmating, because if they go here, the check here would force them here. Well, no, but then there's the knight. I'd have to do some calculation, but it's very clearly winning. And then if they run this way, there might actually be a checkmate where you sack the queen, because if they take, they're on this square, the pawn's covering this, then the whole file is covered, I think, so that'd be fine. So I think they can go this way and avoid checkmate, but if they go this way, you can just play a check, they go here, and you sack the queen, as I was talking about. If they just move out of the way, let's say to here, then we want knight f4. This does look pretty strong. And the knight is kind of getting cemented here, this knight here. If they take, we can just take back with the pawn. You could probably also take back with the knight, but I assume the pawn's better. Because it opens up a route for the queen. And I don't know, it's gotta be winning somehow. Kinda like the other position where they go there. Okay. So there are some tactical mishaps, but I just go to d1. Or, yeah, d8. Again, be messing up it all. Oh wait, I wanna see, so the eval here is just like even or a bit better for white, which you know, my queen and rook are on this wrong file, but you know, I look at this and I do quite like king's Indian positions, and I like that I'm going to have control over this part of the board. h3 was actually better than castling immediately, which is worth noting, because I thought they should just castle. But yeah, I mean, h3, they're still going to castle this way though. h3 makes sense though, because this bishop is going to have some trouble, and it would be nice to trade it for the knight so that eventually my queen can go here. So I play this immediately. It's kind of just an obvious move. It takes space, pushes later, it fulfills the plan. If you don't find it to be an obvious move, you just need to play more Kings Indian games, more chess in general, I would say, because this move just comes with time. You see it and you go like, yeah, this is nice for me. Although it's not as nice for me as I thought it would be. I'm very bad at evaluating, I guess. Okay, good to know that b6 was not a move. I actually intuitively did think of the move a5, but I thought it'd just be kind of weird, like, seems like we're just giving them extra time. I don't really know what a5 does. They should just play c5, I thought. But I guess maybe that's partially because I don't really have very many good moves in this position in general. I just kind of have like one clear plan, so it's just thrown in there, and that's not necessarily because it makes too much sense to do. That's not why it's like a top 3 engine move or whatever. So, play knight f6 probably. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I thought about playing this, but I was like, I can use the pawn with helpless, and I thought there was no issues. They want a4, just trying to break open on this side, or knight e4. But, you know, I was just like, it's fine, and, you know, maybe I play this or this. I don't know which one. One of the bishop moves. I'm surprised they don't actually show up as the top moves. I think maybe they want you to... No, but to contest the file, you really do want to, you know, get these rooks doubled, so... is knight f7 top move? No, knight f7's up there, but... What's a5? So maybe a5 is doing something in particular, and I don't really understand it. It is putting pressure on them to break immediately, and maybe them breaking immediately is worse than them breaking in the future, for some reason. But yeah, I don't really get it. Because I think you just kind of play this. I guess now they want a takes b4, and... Okay, that is true that that's doing that, and... they can't afford to take it here. And if they push, they're locking it up. Okay, so I learned something very important. This is actually a really, 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 really great lesson. I mean, this is an amazing lesson for me to learn. This is like really important, and I think after the game, I'm gonna go get my chess notebook, which I don't really use, and I'm gonna just like try to write it down from memory. You can play a4 here, when there's this pawn on b4, and if they take, it's obviously bad, and if they push immediately, you can just take it, and then there's this sequence, and that's really good for you. So yeah, that's a great lesson. I'm so happy that I was able to learn that here. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Knight f7, just getting the knight in the game. Knight f6, trading off this knight maybe, whatever. Okay. Well, we didn't even reach that position, right? So, okay, this happens. They play this move. Just trying to unleash the attack here. But this runs into f takes e. They take back. And I thought I could move my queen in, and queen g5 was the best move. Oh! So it wasn't better for white at the end. I think the eval before was just kind of bad. It's a bit better for black, according to this. Which is, I mean, I thought it was like 0.4 better for black. But yeah, it's not. Because if you go to the game review, it gave like 0.5 or 0.3, I think, for white, or 0.2 for white. I don't know. But yeah, so this is a bit better for black. Queen g5 is the best move, yeah. So I think just its analysis before was kind of wrong. Or okay, maybe knight f6. No, queen g5. I don't know. But giving this a good move is ridiculous. I don't know how a game review decided that. Or unless it's running in a higher depth, but I'm pretty sure it's a lower depth. Because there's no way, you know, looking at this. Oh no, but it's giving it more time, and oh? No, maybe the game review is a higher depth? Because it thought about it, and now it's suggesting this king h1 move with 0.3, and I mean, I'm willing to believe that that is like something that the engine doesn't first immediately consider, and then it has to run a bit to understand that. So I guess, actually, it was 0.3, but 0.3 with a really weird move that I don't think they would have considered. As for what this move does, I don't know. I don't know what this move does. it gives a new square for the knight after coming here, which I don't know if is it. You can double or you can put the rooks on the F and G file and push the G pawn maybe, but I don't think that's too. Yeah, I don't really understand. But I guess if you let it run for longer. Yeah, so I'm curious for the sake of, you know, learning how the engine works. Actually, I'm gonna have it run here, for a bit longer than I normally would, because usually it's not that important. Like for learning, I don't really care as much about this KH1 move as I do for I do care for the sake of learning, but the way I'm going to learn from it is I'm going to try to see how the engine's able to.
PNC Bank brings you.
I just want to make sure that after thinking that long, that was the engine's top move, and it's a good move. So I can learn about how the engine works better, because that's kind of weird to me that it just thought that long. I'm also gonna switch and go back here. I don't know. Oh wait, no, that's after it getting played. No, but after getting played, it should understand, because I had it here, and it's considering King H1, but then it's shot up to 0.3. But would it stay at 0.3? And after playing it, I think it would give a better eval then. So I don't know if it is 0.29. Like if they were to play this, and now it's showing King H4 is better. So I don't know if that random blip was reliable. Although I thought it would be, because I don't know, that happened after thinking for a while, I think, and it was the same as the game review. So maybe the game review is stronger based on that, but I think based on this and it not going back to 0.3, I think that's wrong. And I think it's zeros. But at the same time, it did reach it after a long time of thinking, which would suggest the game review analysis is a bit stronger than my computer thinking for like 5 seconds. I don't know. But it didn't think for like 5 seconds in every move. It's thinking longer here. So clearly the game review is not going to be stronger, because it didn't take it very long unless it's running on the cloud. But I don't think it's running on the cloud. I don't know. But I think, yeah, that was just the computer being bad. Okay, I should change this back so my computer doesn't like kill itself. Okay. So I think the main lesson I want to take here is A4. I think there were also other lessons to learn, but not taking was immediately. I think I need to calculate pawn captures for longer than I do. But at the same time, I think I calculate them already longer than the average person. I think that, but that's also kind of just because I'm slow, but I need to make up some time. I don't know. But yeah, I should have just calculated, or I don't think this is the turn. I think here, or whenever, it was right. I'm not paying attention here. I just know eventually, you know, taking the pawn was right. So here, taking the pawn was right, and I didn't really calculate this fully. And I should have done so. And I'm not necessarily mad at myself for missing the winning tactic. I'm mad at myself for missing the fact that this taking is, the structure in which they take is worse than the structure in which I take. That's kind of what I'm mad at me missing this for. Although I guess maybe I was thinking like this. Yeah, I think maybe this is why, actually. Maybe it wasn't me missing the structure, but more so me somehow calculating this line incorrectly because I didn't calculate this. So maybe I didn't miss the structure after takes, and more so I was like, after this, I've lost my dark square bishop, so this is actually kind of like worse structurally, not in terms of pawn structure, but in terms of the fact that I don't have my dark square bishop. So maybe that's why I didn't like, because then taking with all that first, and I thought they were safe here, but I missed this move. Well, first of all, this I think takes a bit of calculation because this is all defended. But what I missed that I should have really seen was this knight f4 move. But this I'm not so mad at myself for missing, even though I should have seen it. So I think this decision here was fine, actually, based on what I considered. I just should have considered this. And here, maybe I should have spent more time calculating, though, this. You know. Okay, I missed this, whatever, fine. I wouldn't have missed it had this position been on the board, I think, but thinking ahead, I missed it. But then, like, after, you know, this, maybe I should have spent more time calculating this position. Well, but this is very clearly strong, because I can't, like, move pieces anywhere, and then here, and maybe the long castle is how they get out of it. I don't know. But again, knight f4 is kind of like what's ruling the day, making it so strong, I think. But yeah. Okay, so I think my conclusion here is I'm not too unhappy with me missing this, or me not playing d-takes, from a structural point of view, just because of the fact that it maybe sort of required me to see certain things ahead, and, you know, tactically, I'm not too mad at myself missing it, but I really should have spent more time. You know, I saw that there might be ideas against this bishop, and I should have spent more time calculating. So I guess that's a lesson in poor time usage. And here I could have calculated more, but like, whatever. And, you know, maybe I should have calculated that more than I did. But I don't have all day, and I'm pretty slow, and I need that time for other things. But yeah, this... I wonder, is this move here? Yeah, e5 is good for there. Okay, so a5 is pretty good here. Yeah, so this is the main lesson. And then, you know, other turns it, or maybe like here, I think it was, they also wanted it. Whatever, a5 was a move a bunch, and looking at this pawn structure and the fact that here, you know, if they take, it's obviously bad to me, but I was like, okay, you can push, but no, after this, you lose a pawn with nothing defending it, and, you know, it's not the best pawn in the world, but it is a pawn, and it's going to make them difficult, and at least they're going to have to spend an extra tempo with capturing it, so, yeah. Also makes it take longer for them to move the bishop there if they want to, in some line, and so on. So, yes, this a5 move is probably the biggest thing I learned from this game. Okay, so that's gonna be it. a5, and I just need better time usage. Them resigning here was really weird, though. I'm shocked they resigned. I don't know what they thought. I don't know, maybe they just had to leave, you know? Not everything's about winning and losing in chess. Maybe they had to go to a wedding or something. They had to go save somebody who was burning in a fire. That could be it.